Greetings, Munchkins. This is me again, and I'm in Galactic Central, broadcasting live, and I've noticed a few happenings on the planet that are worthy to mention. So, first of all, it was brought to my attention that they have these protests on Russian streets whereby everybody in Russia is like standing up for the poisoning of this Alexis little girl that went to jail for some reason, etc. And all the jail little Russian girls are all scared and yelling, and the cops are beating them up, and they're all standing up for democracy, yada yada yada. So then, all I gotta tell my little session girls there, Totayana, is, your instructions, sweetie, when you were. And I have asked for forgiveness from the Galactics for my actions of having taken your calls and Amber's calls for unending number of hours and given you all, secrets and keys to your own lives, but all you ever cared about was trying to impersonate me and become me to gain power over your nations in the wrongest of ways. So, years later, instead of, as I instructed, you being on mission to aid your country women into right action, you are inciting them all to be on the streets just because you are dying to go serve by, the American politicians that are now in power. After you did the same, you invaded when it was the Republican time. You would do anything for power, basically. You're just a power thirsty, literal, terrorist. And this is not kosher, nor is it funny. Instead of entice and, driving all the women to, be divine in every sense of the word, it's only protests and horrible acts because you are so gung ho about trying to prove that you are the phoenix when you really are just Russian, and trying at all costs to rob my identity for no absolute reason. Meaning, use my identity for your own benefits and purposes, which division of power is not the future. We have to amend the Constitution. And you will not use me to get your means served. So I mentioned to everybody, and for my name to have been used for, first of all, a terrorist attack on Beirut in August, because all the party crew of IC and Rafiq and the LA crew and beyond don't really care about anything besides just ego and trying to blame me because I say I am Aurora Diamond Rainbow Morningstar, Mother of New Creation, and I just brush off, of course, that I have been raised in a household by Nicholas Tabrawi and Maya Khoury Tabrawi, etc. And I am that timeline. So once I got my shift and gift, I started a push for the breakdown of the grids. So for people to take that against me and go, I am Dima Tabrawi and I am from Lebanon when you're actually from Russia, instead of saying that you are Tatiana Kristina Pushkina and getting a job and working your way up the echelons, you want to use me to just manipulate your people to then know that I'm being drugged here while my papers are detained at DMV Bluffton because you already filed for my driver license as myself in the past for Dimeta Brawi. And you've already used me and abused me, and now you don't care if you're using and abusing all of these women there just to get to your means. And that's pretty pathetic, to be quite honest. And for Amy to have stood up for these acts instead of just disallowing these little girls to use me for just fame, power, and glory and brush me off. And, now there's another couple next door at 114 trying to, also, draw the path of the future of humanity now that I said that I will no longer host anybody in this room or in any room to just be, fucked, because I'm going to walk down the aisle and get married before I engage in any other immoral, sinful sexual acts that is not the Church of Ra, nor is it divine will. And my personal will was always to also be in right action in regards to my purity and sanctificational, virginal, conservative self for my divine partner that I will cherish and honor. And anybody who's trying to, endorse and like, champion those little hookers that are just going around as myself in different colored hairs to like, keep my documents at DMV and then at AT&T, and then they already robbed my iPhone and beyond just because they used their sex powers to like, up until today, Scorpio said, "Oh, she is very sad because your sex is more powerful and you are more popular." No, Habibi. I am the only transformative genitalia organ, and I'm the only phoenix, and I'm the only shift and the only shift provider. So anybody near me is endowed with those blessings and benefits, and I don't share myself easily. And it was not my fault that Miguel Lamboy decided to literal kiss me while in meditation and deter me from my holy baptism by, just invading my privacy on a couch while Ambura was on the floor for her to like transmit all of that to Russell after fake making pretend it was kicked out when Russell was actually just showering me with love in the like private family chat room, and then they locked him out. Just anything they could to just steal my sexual power, beginning in Log Castle and then continuing to Blue Spruce. And I have tonight, again, after performing a surgery under the booking by my card here at the Red Roof Inn for Dima Tabrawi, the green card that I recovered, as well as the Florida driver license for Aurora Diamond Rainbow Morningstar. So that's triple power, burning letters from my angels as well as performing surgeries in order to break down all those grids where crookery is even the slightest bit encouraged or allowed, let alone the infiltration of all my devices and the robbery of my MacBook Pro that they are like, apparently they robbed Pelosi's MacBook Pro from the White House and are trying to like circulate it to other nations, which is as above, so below, meaning I'm above, I'm from heaven authorities here. And they stole my laptop and they're probably trying to like send it to Russia to like have some proof against me, which there is none. I don't have any dirty little secret except for the fact that I was born and raised under bombs, and I personally know most of the people who were on the front lines as well as all the Red Cross people because my cousins were there. And I woke up very early in the morning and practiced using artillery, shooting on Coca Cola cans. And I can, as they know in Bluffton, because I went and shot guns, and I don't miss my targets because I know how to work my arms like I know how to work my etheric arms. So that is nothing that any hooker from Russia can use against me at any level. And anybody who is joyful, in having just a mock wife just for, um, because I don't see love on the grids now. It's being like all ego. And I'm literally not fighting for any masculine in particular. What happened has been sad, and I only will fight for justice, truth, and until eternity and beyond. And I've already sent, letters again after they stole my 5 case numbers to the police here, Bluffton Police. And today I called their number and they couldn't even say hello because they know that I know that they were bribed. So I left a voicemail. I'm like, "Hi, I know that you guys were bribed, and that is really shameful and pathetic to accept for you guys to be bribed on the topic of my case numbers being robbed, as well as, people entering my room without my permission while I'm being, pacified and given tranquilizers to by people who, are basically living in fear because there's nothing scary about a powerful alpha female that is an archaea and that will forever stand for justice and non-corruption at any level, let alone government levels, which I do not endorse, allow, or endow at any level. And obviously, I upgraded my. I downloaded this app on my phone to have like added security. However, I'm still being tracked, and I had already changed my password for my iCloud, and then they asked me to change it again, which was really weird. And I also changed my access to the phone, which they obviously, got to conclusions about. And I will never stop fighting to be the shift. And I am all of it. So I have already asked the angels, the archangels, and all creation to serve me back all of my, stolen Facebook accounts for 5,000 friends for me to actually be the shift. Like, there will no longer be traces of Dima Tabrawi because I have been crucified and I have came back as the morning star and I have transcended matter, and nobody has any right to use my social security number or past name at any level. This is not something that is allowed or agreed on at any level. I have earned and owned all of me's, and I am one and only and unique. And I thank you all for your brilliance and growth and understanding. Have a lovely night. It's the end of Jan and it's still freezing as fuck down here in Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. And I thank you all for your undivided attention and beautiful service to the light. And to all you Russian women on the streets out there, I would recommend you send the armies of Putin to arrest Tatiana Pushkina and bring her back to serve you as I had already counseled her to do.